guess that was the approach. Is, it was a little fateful, I guess, that when I got offered the role, because there was a weight in the whole audition process, a weight to the idea that it might happen. That just going just one step at a time, one step at a time. So when the offer came in, there was definitely excitement. There was a certain level of dread with it too, because it's a big thing. But the fact that it happened and the offer had come in on December 1st by nobody's design, which is Molly Burkhart's birthday, it felt like maybe there was a responsibility that was, not really up to me, but was important that I receive. So because it happened that way, it was like an immediate connection to the person that I was playing. And because there really is nobody living today who knew her, there's not video footage, there's not, a lot that I could really study about her specifically, other than what was in photographs and in court records. It was important that she be shaped by what the community said about who she was and her legacy, and a lot of what people did know and remember and feel and inherit and pass forward from that generation. So there was kind of a basis of comparison in knowing just about my great-grandma Lily. She was born before, or she passed away before I was born, but she was such a fixture in my dad's life and was such a fixture in the home life with just stories about who she was. And there were some similarities I saw there with her and Molly. Living around the same time in history. They were born within 10 years of each other. Saw this great transition happen, had families. Both were pretty devoutly Catholic, so that kind of interesting little cocktail and worldview. There were a lot of things that I had that were kind of assumptions I could make based upon my own family history, but it was also, one of my first times spending a lot of time in Oklahoma. It's a very different history for natives there. Osage at that point in history had not that long ago been, relocated, had gone through that unimaginable collective leaving of home, having to leave your ancestral lands and go to this new place. And so that was still very much in the collective conscious, That was just a generation removed from Molly and her sisters. They were all the first generation that were born in this new place. So there was a lot of, there was an awareness that what I could apply would just be more how I would apply being with community. And I just knew that I needed to treat and approach Molly the way that I would hope another actress would approach a biopic that would feature my grandma Lily. Because there's a real legacy there, and a lot of it came from meeting with her family and direct descendants. And then there was also this element of shaping a presence for her on screen that harkened to a lot of the references Marty wanted to make of films that where this film would kind of fit, saddled in films of the 40s, 50s, Montgomery Clift, and most specifically the Olivia de Havilland Montgomery Clift film, The Heiress. So it was kind of reconstructing this leading lady from that period of time in cinema, but from a more indigenous perspective. Because Olivia de Havilland in that film, she's raised in a patriarchal, oppressive household. Her father tells her from the get-go that she's going to be hard to marry off because she's so plain. She has a very diminished sense of self. So it's like, that doesn't apply to Molly. Molly is an Osage woman. Osage women own everything. They're the ones who have the last say over what happens with all capital in the house, all material. Really, indigenous women, period, across the board, were like backbones of our families, of our societies, of our communities. So it was kind of a reimagining of, okay, what would that golden age leading lady look like? And I was so grateful that we had so many characters to kind of flush out this entire family and show a lot of different aspects of how women were embracing these changes during the time. So yeah, it was kind of a balancing of a number of different inspirations.